Hey guys, what's up? It's Muffin here, and today I'm bringing you something new that will hopefully continue for a while. This is the first Python challenge. Now the whole point of this is that it will help solidify knowledge that you have learnt in the tutorials, because, I mean, tutorials can only get you so far. You actually need to do coding yourself on the side. You can't just like follow what I'm doing in tutorials to actually learn a coding language. You need to be able to do it yourself. And so this is the first chance to do it. So pretty much just try to get this done if you can. I will be doing it as well with you. So if you can't figure something out, just watch what I've been doing and hopefully that will help you. And then you can get it done yourself. But yeah, anyway. This challenge. This will make sure that you can use both for and while loops interchangeably. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to fill out the countLettersWhile and countLettersFor functions. I have already filled out a main function which will ask for an input, and you can input a word or a sentence or something into the shell, and then it will use your two functions to try to count how many of each letter was in the word. So, that's what you need to do. Your two functions need to count how many of each letter was in the word, and then print the results it found. Now, the difference between these two functions is the while. Obviously, I want you to use while loops. The for, I want you to use for loops. You can either copy down what I've already written, or I'll leave it in the description, so you can just copy and paste it, nice and easy, and then get coding yourself. So, I would like you to try to code it yourself, and if you can't, then obviously watch what I'm doing, because I'll be coding through it, just to give you a little bit of help if you need it. But the more you can do it yourself, the better, really. So I'll give you 5 seconds now just to pause the video so you can try it yourself, and then I'll start coding through it myself. Okay. Right, that's 5 seconds. So I'm going to start coding through it myself now. I am going to do a while loop first because it's the top one, and while loops are my favourite. They have a special place in my heart. Okay, so I am going to put something dummy in here. I'm going to put just print in there so that it will run that and it won't have any issues. Actually, I'm going to go not done yet. Okay, so for this, I'm going to need... No, I'm not going to call it letter counts, let's call it counts, which is going to be an empty array. And count equals 0, while count is less than length of word, and count plus equals 1. Cool. So now I want to do if word count in counts, then I want to find where it is, so then index equals 0 while word count does not equal counts index. This isn't an intuitive way to do it. I don't know why I've done it this way. Index plus equals 2, and then counts index plus 1 plus equals 1. As at this point, I'd just like to take a little side step and just go over what I was planning on doing. I do change it slightly later because this way really isn't the best way to do it to understand it. But what my plan was is that the first item in counts will be the letter, then the second item will be the count of that letter. The third item will be the next letter, the fourth item will be the count of that letter, and so on. I do split it out into 2 separate lists, which is a much better way of doing it. I just want to quickly explain that's how I was doing it, because otherwise it doesn't really make too much sense. Alright, and else counts len of counts equals word count and counts of len counts equals 1. That didn't work. Word. Ho-ho! That is actually how you do it in C, but this is Python, so that doesn't quite work. Oh gosh, this is how you should be doing it. Okay, cool. We're getting somewhere. Okay, cool. Then after that, count is 0, while count is less than the length of counts. Print counts count plus occurs plus counts count plus 1 plus times okay. Word. Yeek. Extra of that. Word. Oh. Plus 2. Word. W occurs 1 time, word cool. And I want to run again, double check. Cheese. Cool. So, I have now done the while loop one. This most definitely is not the best way to do it. There is a lot better ways, which I know, but with the knowledge from the tutorials that we've done so far, this is a way to do it. There will be several ways to do it. The best way to do it is using dictionaries. If you know how to use them, I would very much recommend using them. It would make life a lot easier. But I'll quickly walk you through what's happening here. Is we're making a list counts, which I want the first item in it to be the letter, then the second item to be how many times that letter's occurred, the third item to be the next letter, the fourth item to be how many times the third letter occurred, or the third item, which is the second letter. And fifth is a letter, sixth is the count for that letter, and so on and so on. So, while count is less than the length of the word, so that will just go through every single character in this word. I should also make sure this works for hello, my name is Bob Smith. 5 spaces. Two B's, 2 S's, yeah, that's right. Is there 2 S's? Yeah, there are 2 S's. Okay, so that will just go through every letter in the word. And then if the word count, which is the letter, so if the letter is already in the list of letters that we want, I just thought of a much better way to do this. Okay, so this is a way to do it. I just thought of a better way, which I will now do because it will make it explaining a lot easier. Letters. Okay. Alrighty. And that should have made life a lot simpler. Not quite. There we go. Three E's, 3 L's, 3 M's. Wow, that's surprising. Okay, so there we go. Now I have redone the while loop one, and it's a lot easier to understand than the way I had it before. So, I have a list of letters, which is just a list of the letters that are in Word, and counts, which is the count for each letter. Then, while count is the standard word that will iterate through each of the letters in the word. If word count, which is going to be each letter one at a time, so the first time will be the first letter. If it is in letters, then this is a little thing to find where it is. So how this works is index equals 0, because we're looking for the index of the letter, and then while the word count, which is the letter, so while the letter does not equal the whatever index in letters, so it'll be 0th, so it's the first item in letters. If it does not equal the letter we're looking for, add 1 to the index. Okay, now we're looking at the first, or the second item, which is the 1th item in the list. So the second item, is that the letter we're looking for? No. Okay, now we're going to look at the third one. Okay, it's the third one. Yay. Okay, exit. And then add 1, the count of that index, which will be the third letter. Add 1 to it, because count is just the count for the letter. And then else, which is if the letter is not in our list of letters already, append it to the end, which just means add it to the end of the list of letters. and add 1 to the end of the list of counts because we've found it one time. And then the count, just iterate through that all several times. Then I reset the count to 0 and iterate through everything in letters. And here I print what letters there are, which is, you know, the first letter, the second letter. It'll go through them one at a time. So the first letter to start with, and then occurs plus string version of the count for that letter, which is the 0th letter, the first letter, times. And then add 1, so then we'll do it for the second letter, then we'll do it for the third letter, fourth letter, fifth letter, until there are no more letters. So, that's how I did it for a while loop. Now, for loop. And this isn't too long, it's 18 lines. That's not too bad. That's including the header. Okay, so I think we're going to take a similar approach for this. We are going to do letters as an empty list, counts as an empty list, for letter in Word, if letter in letters, then we want to find where it is, for I in range of length of letters. Yeah, I'm also going to need another variable, index equals 0. If letters I equals letter index equals I. Okay, and then else letters dot append letter counts dot append 1 and then for letter in letters correct. Actually, no, we're gonna do for I in range of letters print letters I plus occurs plus string of counts I plus times. And that should work, I believe. Oh, whoops. My bad. Len of letters. What is your name today? Okay, that has only one. Wait a minute. Left out one line. Counts index plus equals 1. Should be 2 T's and outside the loop, not in the loop. There we go. 3 A's, 4 spaces, 2 Y's, 2 U's. There's 2 Y's and 2 U's. Apparently there was. Oh yeah. You're in today. Alright, so as you can see, they aren't actually too much different the ways I've done it. I mean, there are lots of other ways of doing it. But what this is 14 lines versus 17 lines. It's not really very different, and neither is really any more efficient than the other. I mean, technically the while loop one's more efficient, it doesn't have an if there, but they're essentially the same. So I'll quickly go over how this one works. Letters, counts, same as in the while loop. For each letter in the word, if the letter is already in letters, then we need to find the index of it, so set it next to 0. For I in range, which is just, it counts from 0 to whatever this number is. So it will count from 0 to the length of letters, so I is 0, then 1, then 2, all out to the length of the letters. If letters I is equal to letter, then that is the index we want. And it will just keep going through that for all of the letters, and then count of index, which is the index that we wanted, plus equals 1. And then if it is not already in letters, then we just want to append letters, or the letter to letters, and append a count of 1, because we found it one time, and then to print it all, for I in range of length of letters, which is the same as that one, print letters I and the string of counts I occurs that many times. So the ideal program you'd want to write would probably have a combination of these. I see that being a bit better than that, in my opinion, but that bottom one is probably better than that one. And if using 4 letter in Word, it makes a bit more sense than word count for a lot of people. But, you know, it's all personal preference. So, you can do it either way. Or you could do it with a combination of them. Combinations tend to be the best. You generally don't want to stick to only fors or only whiles. You want to do a bit of both. So yeah, I hope that guys help you out with your coding. I would also like to just quickly add here, I would love it if you guys could leave how you did this in the comments. So if you could just literally just copy and paste it out of your IDE into the comment section, I'd love to see how you guys managed to do it, because there are so many different ways you could have done this, and I'm just interested in seeing how others got this done. Cheers guys, I'll see you on the next one. See you!